You're treated.
Get your news a half hour earlier today on K2 News at 4:30.
Breaking news, the brink of war, crisis in the Middle East. More rockets, more violence, more death. As 25,000 Americans find themselves trapped in a war zone. How will they get out? Is there a plan? World News Tonight anchor Charlie Gibson is there with exclusive interviews and information. And safe at home, Discovery returns to Earth. The dramatic re-entry as the space shuttle makes a flawless landing. And meltdown, a triple-digit heat wave scorches the record books across America. Believe it or not, 117 degrees in South Dakota. When will it end?
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer and Robin Roberts.
And good morning, America. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Diane Sawyer is on vacation this Monday, July 17, 2006. That's why I'm joined this morning by our good friend from 2020 in our New York station here at WABC, Bill Ritter.
Nice to be here. An incredibly tense weekend and now a morning of breaking news in the Middle East.
And we're live for you, those on the West Coast, because things are happening so quickly there in the Middle East. We're going to take a look at the rubble of a 3-story building which took a direct hit from a Hezbollah rocket. And an Israeli government spokesman says there are no plans to end their offensive against Islamic radicals, quote, as of yet. So here's the very latest as we know it. 25,000 Americans trapped, emotions running so high, as you can imagine. We're going to speak with some American college students stuck in Beirut. The death toll on both sides stands at more than 200, many of them civilians, and there are calls this morning for world leaders to send an international force to the region to keep the peace.
Also this morning, President Bush caught on an open microphone with some very blunt language about what needs to be done, what he thinks need to be done in the Middle East. He's talking to Tony Blair there. We'll overhear what he says in a few minutes.
Very candid remarks. But first to anchor our special coverage of the Middle East on the brink, we go to our good friend, World News Tonight anchor Charlie Gibson, who arrived in the region this weekend and reports from Jerusalem. Of course, he'll be reporting as well for World News Tonight, but right now he's with us here on Good Morning America. And we say good morning to you, Charlie.
Well, good morning, Robin, and it's a pleasure to be back on your program. But you and Bill have talked about the fact that this situation remains very tense. But in the last 24 hours, despite the rocket attacks from Hezbollah firing from inside Lebanon into Israel and the Israeli bombardment of Lebanese territory, people are at least beginning, to talk about ways that this crisis might end. I just came from talking to the foreign minister of Israel. Tzipi Livni is her name. And she emphasized that Israel has been able to inflict real damage on Hezbollah. This is not a small incident on our border with Lebanon. She said this is a matter of our very existence. Now, the Israelis have made their goals very clear: to cripple Hezbollah and get them off Israel's northern border. And the questions obviously are, can that be done without the conflict becoming regional? Can Hezbollah be permanently eliminated as a terrorist threat to Israel? And if Hezbollah is driven back from the northern Israeli border, who would police the area? Now, as for the fighting today, you just mentioned the basics. Within the past few moments, there have been renewed air raid warnings in Haifa, Israel's third largest city. There have been rockets hitting northern Israel today, but fewer than yesterday. Still, the day is young. And the Israeli bombardment of Lebanon continues unabated, with reports of more people, more civilians being killed. So we have correspondents on both sides of the Israeli-Lebanese border. And we also have a correspondent, as you mentioned, with President Bush, who has in very colorful language talked about the situation. We're going to start with ABC's David Wright in Beirut, where, as you mentioned, thousands are taking shelter from airstrikes, and others, including Americans, are trying to get out. David?
Good morning, Charlie. Here in this country, the air raids are constant, only there are no sirens. The only warning, these leaflets dropped here in Beirut last night. When the bombs come, there's not even a moment to find shelter, just explosions, and they can happen just about anywhere.
The Israeli bombs have been downright ferocious. In the southern city of Tyre, they're still digging out the bodies. At least 20 people killed, including 2 rescue workers. At the northern tip of Lebanon, Israeli warplanes attacked the seaport of Tripoli. Here in Beirut, Israel targeted the airport yet again. The seaport, too. Firemen are still trying to put out the flames. Many Lebanese are now crowding in schools, seeking shelter, but it's not easy. This mother told us she has no diapers for her baby. Thousands of foreigners are also trapped in harm's way. Last night, 8 Canadians were killed. For Europeans, there's a ray of hope. Today, the French government hired a ferry to get them out. But the Americans, still stuck. Tom Roach, a recent graduate of Brown University here on vacation, is watching news of that French ship with envy.
We get State Department emails every day telling us that they're planning or that they're assessing, but thus far we just know that there might be a boat to Cyprus at some point.
And the State Department, always careful about its language, is not even calling it an evacuation. The term that they prefer is a voluntary departure. And if and when they do come up with a plan, the Americans will have to pay for a ride out. Now for the view from the other side of the border, let's go to ABC's Dan Harris in Israel.
Hi, David. While Israel continues to pound away at Lebanon, Hezbollah continues to fire rockets deeper into this country than it ever has before. There are, as Charlie mentioned, more rockets hitting Haifa today, which is the third largest city in this country. And overnight, a missile landed not far from Nazareth, which is a holy city for Christians. The missile hit just miles from this church, built over the spot where Christians believe the angel Gabriel told the Virgin Mary that she would bear Jesus. We met some Arab Americans here visiting relatives.
I was kind of frightened. It was like a bomb, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was fireworks.
In the past day, Hezbollah has been able to hit near Nazareth, about 30 miles south of the border, Afula, 33 miles away, and just hours ago, Atlit, about 35 miles away. These attacks caused no casualties, but they do show that Hezbollah can still operate despite Israeli missiles, cannon fire, and air raids.
They will continue to strike. We can't completely eliminate that, as you see, but we're pinpointing, we're targeting, we're trying to reach at them before they reach us.
On Sunday, government spokesperson Miri Eisen was on the scene of Hezbollah's attack in Haifa, its deadliest ever. As we spoke to her then, the air raid sirens went off. Today in Haifa, the sirens were sounding again as more missiles rained down. There are no reports of casualties today in Haifa, although there are reports of some people being taken to the hospital in shock after those missiles landed. Charlie, as you know, Haifa is a very sensitive target, one of the most popular tourist destinations in this country. There are also oil refineries there and chemical plants. If those places were hit, there would be a lot of casualties.
All right, Dan, thanks very much. You know, I posed earlier the question about who could secure Israel's northern border if Hezbollah is indeed driven out. Well, more and more there is discussion of an international force, probably UN troops, being brought in after the fighting runs its course. British Prime Minister Tony Blair and UN Secretary General Kofi Annan have called for an international force on the border, and the president, who is at the G8 summit in St. Petersburg, Russia, seemed to agree and did so today in uncharacteristically colorful language. So Good Morning America's White House correspondent Jessica Yellen is with the president there. Jessica?
Charlie, after working all weekend to cobble together a united front among G8 leaders on the crisis in the Middle East, this morning President Bush, caught off guard, revealed his real views on the situation. The president was speaking to British Prime Minister Tony Blair while munching on a roll, and apparently unaware that a microphone was opened, he used unusually colorful, blunt language and an expletive to say,
See, the irony is that what they need to do is get Syria to get Hezbollah to stop doing it.
He went on to complain that UN Secretary General Kofi Annan is too focused on a ceasefire.
His attitude is basically ceasefire and everything else happens.
President Bush also said he expects Secretary Rice to go to the region soon. As you said, Charlie, there is also news this morning that a UN force could be deployed to the region shortly. But a senior administration official tells ABC News this morning that President Bush discussed the idea this weekend. He is open to it, but no decision about a deployment or the nature of that force would be made until a UN team returns from that region on Thursday. Charlie?
Jessica Yellen reporting from St. Petersburg in Russia. You know, I've talked about how volatile the situation is and how moment by moment things change. David Wright was reporting just a few moments ago from Beirut, and just after he finished that report, Robin, some of the Israeli bombardment hit the area right where he was standing. And David and the people who were with him had to dive for cover. I think we still have a live picture from Beirut. David had to dive for cover. Everybody's okay. The crew's okay. They're going to have to change locations. But it it shows you that the bombs are coming right in. I think we have David on the phone. David, can you hear me?
Okay, microphone. All right, just a few moments ago, just after I tossed over to Dan, just after I tossed to Dan Harris there, we heard an incoming missile. It arced right over the hill here towards the position where I'm standing, and everybody here, all the cameramen, all the correspondents had to dash out of the way. This was an attack that seems to have been targeted towards us. The only conceivable reason why I could think that that might be the case is that there's a truck from Al-Manar TV that has been broadcasting from this position as well, the Hezbollah channel. This does appear to have been a targeted attack. At this point, there's nobody been injured, at least on this hilltop. The missile seems to have gone astray and landed back down in the neighborhood below us. But very close call and a frightening moment. Let's go over to Charlie Gibson over in Israel.
All right, David, good to hear that you're all right. David mentioned Al-Manar TV. That is the Hezbollah station. And their headquarters, their station, their buildings have been the target of Israeli warplanes. They actually knocked Al-Manar off the air for a few hours, about 48 hours ago. But you can broadcast from essentially anywhere, and perhaps David is right that Al-Manar truck may have been the target of that Israeli attack. But luckily, as David said, his crew and he okay right now. But it just shows you how volatile and how dangerous, Robin, things are.
In a moment's notice. Charlie, before you came on the air, you sat down with Israel's foreign minister. What did she tell you?
Well, I mentioned earlier that I did talk with the foreign minister. She's a very engaging woman. Her name is Tzipi Livni, and I think Americans will hear a lot more about her as an integral part of the Israeli government. But I made mention of the fact, when I was talking with her, that the leaders of the industrialized nations meeting in Russia, from where Jessica Yellen just reported, have not called for a ceasefire. That has surprised many people. So I asked her how Israel read that. Did she think the world was saying, in effect, Israel, you have some time to do what you need to do militarily? The fact that they did not call for a ceasefire, does it say in your mind, Israel, do what you have to do militarily before this gets settled?
Firstly, Israel will do what it has to do because it is about the lives of Israelis. It's about the lives of people not only in the northern part of Israel. It's about the existence of Israel.
So a UN delegation comes in here tomorrow to begin to talk about what to do. Do you think there's going to be a push to get some sort of UN force on the border? Is that where we eventually head?
I'm going to meet these envoys that are coming to the regions of the UN and to check what is the most effective way to end or to get out of this situation for a better future.
But is that not the only practical way to end this, to get a UN force on the border, given the question of whether the Lebanese government will ever be strong enough to take control of the border themselves?
Well, the best option, of course, is to get the Lebanese army on the border. But in the Middle East, you have to choose between bad options.
So that is the foreign minister of Israel, Tzipi Livni, as I say. So that's the situation, Robin. Volatile, as I said, and that's certainly pointed up by the fact that rockets are hitting right in the area where David Wright is reporting in Beirut. But at least there is some discussion now of when this might end and how, although it is probably quite a few days away.
You're probably right there, Charlie. As I said, good to see you there. And Charlie will have the very latest tonight on World News Tonight. So good to see him there in the region. And before we turn to other news, an unusual perspective on what's going on in the Middle East. As you know, the space crew of the Space Shuttle Discovery, they're preparing for today's landing. Crew members Pierre Sellers will share his thoughts.
Well, we just flew over the Middle East, and I have to tell you from up here, it looks peaceful and quiet, just like the rest of the planet. And I think all of us are mindful when we're flying around this one little Earth that it's all we have. This is humanity's home, and hopefully one day we'll all get along.
And we will have much more coverage of the Middle East crisis throughout this broadcast, Bill.
Robin, from hotspots in the Middle East to a heat wave sweeping this country. Dangerous heat wave. This weekend, triple-digit temperatures rippled outward from Los Angeles eastward to the Great Lakes. Cities across the country are now being forced to take emergency measures, and in many areas, the temperature will go up today. We have two reports this morning. We begin with Nancy Weiner. She's outside our Times Square studios where, Nancy, I'm told the temperature here in New York could approach triple digits.
Not just here, but all over the country. Bill, if you close your eyes, stick a pin in the U.S. map, you will surely hit a spot where they are suffering from extreme heat. There is supposed to be some relief in the far west today, but here in the east, it is about to get oppressive. Temperatures topped 100 degrees in 22 states this weekend. In the Dakotas, where it rarely tops 90, it hit 117, smashing a 66-year-old record.
It's wonderful.
113 in Nevada, 104 in Denver. In California, highs near 110 fanned wildfires and pushed power grids to their limits. In Des Moines, Iowa, a youngster summed up the sentiments of a nation.
You feel like all gross?
Today, meteorologists predict record temperatures in nearly every major northeastern city. The culprit?
It's that high pressure system across the plain states that's strengthening, that has forced that jet stream a lot farther north than it normally is this time of the year.
Here in New York City, 5 triathletes were hospitalized for heat exhaustion, and the worst is still to come.
I would say that I've done a lot of triathlons, but I was not prepared for what I encountered today.
A cold front sweeping across New England should bring some relief to this part of the country by Wednesday, but in the Midwest, the heat is creating some dangerous conditions for people, for the environment, and my colleague Barbara Pinto is in Chicago. Barbara?
Good morning, Nancy. With the humidity, it's expected to feel like 100 degrees here again today. Chicago city leaders have already declared a heat emergency. Here, they take this weather very seriously after 700 people died in a heat wave a decade ago. In the Windy City, there is only oppressive, searing heat. The warnings flashed overhead on the highways and rang on the telephones of tens of thousands of city residents in automated phone messages.
Drink plenty of water, and if you need food or a ride to a cooling center or want us for any reason at all, call 311.
The city dispatched workers to check on senior citizens like Claudia Riley, 97 years old.
Ms. Riley, we have water for you.
And opened more than 100 buildings around the clock. A climate-controlled refuge for those without air conditioning.
It's very hard out there. It's hot. Well, a lot of people don't have nowhere to go.
For the 12,000 athletes gathered in Chicago for this year's Gay Games, competition meant wilting and scorching heat. In Minnesota, the dry, steamy weather is causing more problems. The governor called in the National Guard to help firefighters as temperatures neared triple digits, and there is more to come.
The negative effects of heat and humidity are cumulative. Each day of a heat wave is more dangerous than the one before.
In this third day of intense heat, there are reports of at least one death, a young child left in a car in Indiana. Bill, Robin, back to you.
All right, thank you, Barb. There's also cooling centers here in New York. They're opening them up, air conditioning, water. If you have senior citizens you live next to, nearby, check on them. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. And remember your animals, too. Don't leave anyone in a car. For tips on how to survive this heat wave across the country, you can go to our website, abcnews.com.
And we'll have other news headlines for you in our next half hour. And the weather is really dominating the news all across the country. We woke up this morning, your friend at WABC, Lee Goldberg, 80 degrees at Central Park.
In the morning.
In the morning, before the sun went up. Mike Barrs has the rest of the weather for us. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, that was like at 5 in the morning. Definitely not suit weather. Use common sense when you're out and about today. Want to tell you why it's so hot out there. You saw a little bit in Nancy's piece, but I'll show you a graphic right here with the jet stream pretty much right up there against Canada. It's holding all that hot air to the south with the high pressure. It makes it feel like an oven out there. Today we're going to focus the map on the middle part of the U.S., the East Coast, because that is the area that will see the most extreme heat today. Fort Wayne, Washington, D.C., under heat advisories today. Philadelphia under an excessive heat warning. Amazingly, none of these temperatures would be records, nothing like Pierre, South Dakota, which set a record yesterday of 117 degrees. As always with this heat, use common sense when you're out and about today. Light colored clothing, always a good idea, and plenty of water. That's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We're starting off with a very nice day here in the Northwest. It will be slightly cooler thanks to a nice onshore flow that's coming in from the Northwest that will help keep things or take the edge off the heat today. We should reach a high of about 78 degrees and plenty of blue sky. Any fog we do see this morning will burn off very quickly. Then overnight tonight, a mild evening, 5-day forecast and 10-day trend. Tomorrow's another nice day. But then by the week's end, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we warm up into the mid-90s and possibly even triple digits by Saturday.
Definitely shorts weather. Time right now, 7:19. Bill, Robin?
Not for us, no shorts. You know, welcome back from vacation, by the way. Big news that you come back to.
I'm telling you, had a good time in Key West. It was nice and warm there, nice and warm all across the country. We'll keep you updated on what's going on. Coming up on Good Morning America, trapped in a war zone. Ahead, the American students caught in Beirut. How will they get out? We'll reunite a teenager in Beirut and a parent back here at home. And Barbaro, the Derby champ, making a surprise comeback. We'll talk with his doctor on his turnaround.
Hey, it's Sleeping Beauty.
Didn't sleep a wink.
I know, we've been waiting for you. Have the chess set already?
He cheats.
Hello, Honest Abe.
Whatever.
We just haven't played for so long.
I know, I just got all this stress at work.
It's cool, it happens to a lot of people.
Really?
Absolutely. More than half of adults report experiencing some kind of insomnia at least a few nights a week.
We just want you back.
Thanks, guys.
When you can't sleep, you can't dream. That's why there's Roserum, the first and only prescription sleep aid that in clinical studies shows no potential for abuse or dependence. Take it when you need it, stop when you don't. Your doctor can explain why Roserum is so different. Don't take Roserum if you're taking Luvox, fluvoxamine, or have severe liver problems. Avoid taking it with alcohol. Don't drive or operate machinery until you know how you'll react to Roserum. Roserum may affect some hormones. Consult your doctor about how this may affect you, or if your insomnia doesn't improve. Take Roserum right before bed. Side effects may include drowsiness, fatigue, and dizziness.
Just talk to your doctor.
Today,
one summer day, the town awoke to drifts of delicious Splenda no-calorie sweetener. Splenda tastes like sugar because it's made from sugar, but without all the calories to spoil the joy. That's the magic of Splendaville.
Looking for a great new fridge? You don't have to go out of your way. We've got them all right here. It's the Refrigeration Spectacular at Sears. Sunday through Saturday, all refrigerators and freezers are on sale. Like this Kenmore Top Freezer Refrigerator, just $388. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 12 months. And free delivery. All fridges, all freezers. If it's cold, it's on sale. Sunday through Saturday at the Refrigeration Spectacular at Sears.
Creamy portobello mushroom soup. Finest ingredients, creamy finish, 5-star restaurant quality taste. In your own home, but the service is so-so. Campbell Select Gold Label. Why settle when you can select?
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:22, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news this morning. A day of fun at the Hillsborough Airport ended in tragedy when a jet came crashing into a nearby neighborhood. That's where K2's Colleen Nelson joins us from live this morning. Colleen, what can you tell us?
Julia, federal investigators are on the scene this morning of Northeast 60th and Harvest, where that plane crashed yesterday during the air show. They're trying to figure out just what caused Bob Guilford's plane to crash. Around 4:30 yesterday, a viewer captured on video this single-engine Hawker Hunter jet airplane taking off from the Hillsborough Airport. Soon after, it appeared to be having engine problems. This picture taken by a viewer shows the plane dip behind the trees. The house it crashed into went up in flames, and neighbors watched in horror.
We wonder if it would ever happen at the air show. We've certainly heard stories about that, but you know, you just never really think it's going to happen here until it does.
The pilot of that plane died in the crash, but fortunately no one was inside the home at the time. 2 other houses and an adjacent building were singed during the fiery explosion. The pilot's body was found in the wreckage more than 2 hours after the crash happened, but no one else in the area was injured. Again, this accident is under investigation this morning. Reporting live in Hillsborough, Colleen Nelson, K2 News.
Thank you so much, Colleen. We will keep you updated on that story as developments occur. It is time now to check on the morning commute. Travis Demers has a look at Beat the Traffic.
Good morning. Pretty routine morning out there on your freeways as we look to see some slowing here northbound I-5 through Capitol Highway and the Terwilliger curves. And as we look outside, again, there's your normal morning commute northbound from the Wilsonville area. On the Banfield, about a 7 to 10 minute commute as things are pretty heavy this morning, but again, nothing out of the ordinary. And on the Sunset, looking better as you approach 217, but the closer you get to 405, it is pretty heavy. And across the Interstate Bridge, you're also going to see your normal morning commute as things are heavy past Delta Park this morning. Other than that, everything else is looking great. Julia, back to you.
Thanks so much, Travis. That is the news for now. We'll be right back with a look at weather.
Why experience the difference at DickHanna.com? The reason is simple. We have the car you want at the price you want to pay. Family owned since 1949, our goal is to simply sell for less. We offer the largest selection of new and pre-owned vehicles online at DickHanna.com. With thousands of vehicles available, we have the new or pre-owned vehicle you're searching for at DickHanna.com. Come see us today or visit us online 24/7. Click, buy, and save at DickHanna.com.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
This summer, get the sunblock that also blocks the bite. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast Sunblock and Repellent. Up to 8-hour protection against harmful rays and pesky bites without the odor. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast. Block the burn and the bite.
Uh-oh, spots again? Jet Dry will fix that. With Jet Dry, dishes dry faster than with detergent alone, leaving fewer spots. See? Spotless. Jet Dry Rinse Agent. The best shine every time.
At Tough Shed, we build garages of all sizes, big, little, and just the way you want them. Construction, warranty, and satisfaction are included in the price. No better selection of garages than at Tough Shed. Financing available. Call today for a free on-site quote. We offer a finished product fast. Now hiring quality installers. Call Tough Shed today. Tough Shed with 3 locations to serve you: Portland, Hillsboro, and Chehalis. Call 1-800-BUY-TOUGH. That's 1-800-BUY-TUFF.
It's already a beautiful day here in the Northwest, and we should see lots of sunshine this afternoon and slightly cooler temperatures today. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now from the Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel in Lincoln City. This is a live picture. A few clouds offshore, but that is it. Otherwise, they're starting off with a beautiful day at the beaches. Along the north coast near Astoria and Long Beach, they are seeing a little fog, especially near the mouth of the Columbia River and also in the extreme southern portion of Oregon near North Bend and the Coos Bay area. They're seeing some fog as well. But other than that, that is it. Anything we do see here in the Willamette Valley will clear off fairly quickly, and we are looking at a beautiful day. We're starting off with numbers in the 50s. It's currently 57 in the Rose City, 57 in Vancouver, and 56 degrees in Salem with nothing but sunshine around the area. On this latest satellite picture, you can see the clouds trying to creep their way into the mouth of the Columbia River, but that is it. Later this afternoon, expect a high of about 78 degrees, slightly cooler than yesterday, and nothing but clear skies. And then this evening, we'll start off mild, end up with an overnight low of 57 degrees. 5-day forecast and 10-day trend. Another nice day tomorrow. Things begin to change, though, starting the end of the week. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures soar into the mid-90s, possibly even triple digits by Saturday and Sunday. We will have another local news update coming up in about 30 minutes. We hope to see you then.
Get your morning started the right way with a delicious McGriddles or McMuffin sandwich, along with a hot, fresh cup of Seattle's best coffee at McDonald's. It's the perfect pick-me-up to start your busy day.
Hi, I'm Michelle Kwan, and I'm coming to Portland with John Hancock, Champions on Ice.
John Hancock, Champions on Ice, featuring America's own Michelle Kwan, Sasha Cohen, Tanith and Ben, plus Irina Slutskaya, Evgeny Plushenko, and many more Olympic and world champions.
I'm Sasha, and we'll see you at the Rose Garden.
Don't wait. Get your tickets today.
We'll see you at the show.
I know a place where you can win tickets to the nation's biggest sporting events, Spirit Mountain and the Sports Fantasy Giveaway, now through August 25th. Come down and play for your chance to win. Complete rules available at the Coyote Club booth.
K2 brings you Family Matters,
offering solutions to issues concerning your family. Because K2, Providence Health System and Rod Paint know that family matters.
There are great things in store for you at the Salvation Army Thrift, so why not get a good deal and do a good deed? The Salvation Army, doing the most good.
The response was overwhelming.
Are 30 things everyone should know.
Next time, what you want to know in the kitchen.
Martha,
You're my hero.
For breakfast.
This is not.
Lunch.
Smells like Martha.
And don't forget dessert. Faith Ford, David Allen Greer, and Courtney Thorne Smith want to know too. Plus, Matt Lauer's packing a suitcase.
So you wanted to know if I was a boxer or a brief guy, right?
Yeah. Our 30 things everyone should know, backed by popular demand, next Martha.
Today at 11 on K2, the spirit of the Northwest.
K2 News, voted Oregon's best investigative journalism.
Ever-changing and violent situation in the Middle East this morning. That's why we are live to those of you on the West Coast. We say good morning, America. Diane Sawyer is off this morning. Pleased to be joined by WABC's and 2020's Bill Ritter.
It's good to be here on a very busy news morning, Robin. More breaking news from the Middle East. The worst fighting across the Israeli-Lebanese border in more than 20 years this morning.
That's why we're going to go right to ABC's John Donvan, who is live in Haifa, where there was a violent attack earlier today. So, John, what's the latest right now?
Well, Robin, this is the country's third largest city, and as hot as it is, it's in the 90s here. It was a chilling afternoon with wave after wave of these rocket attacks from Hezbollah. And the way it works, the Israelis can spot the rockets coming. They send off a siren. You can hear the siren. That basically means you got 30 seconds. You can count to 30, and then you're going to start hearing the explosions, and you have to hope they're not going to come down where you are. When the sirens go off, people run into buildings, but inevitably something gets hit. And today, it was a couple of things. It was a government building, a courthouse, and it was also this house, a 3-story building in a residential area down by the port. It basically ripped off the front and side of it. You could see inside and see the furniture. The problem with all of these things is that every one of these explosions creates a crowd. You get people out in the street, and then the sirens go again. It means more rockets are in the air. Robin?
All right, John, please do take care. I want to go now to ABC's David Wright, who is in Beirut, and it was a tense situation there earlier as well. David?
Good morning, Robin. Just a short while ago, a dramatic example of how chaotic the scene is here and how dangerous it is for folks on the ground. We were standing here at our camera position when a piece of flaming metal came hurtling over the ridge, and all of the reporters standing in this position made a mad dash for cover. It's a bit of a rocky outcropping, so a difficult dash that was, but it wasn't at all clear what it was. At first, we thought it was an Israeli missile targeting our position. However, it quickly became clear that wasn't the case. There were then reports that it might have been an aircraft that was downed, and as those reports spread across this city, all of southern Beirut behind me erupted in gunfire, celebratory gunfire for what they thought to be a significant militant victory. Israel quickly denied those reports, saying that none of its planes had been downed, so it's still a bit of a mystery what that piece of hurtling metal was. The nearest speculation now is that it was a piece of metal, possibly from a drone, an aircraft that had been circling the city that the militants managed to hit. Whatever it was, it gave everyone here quite a scare. And in the midst of all this bombardment, yet another example of what the people all across this city are facing right now. Robin and Bill.
Thank you, Dave.
You be careful too, Dave. You know, it's the fallout from war. If you're a civilian there, you don't know what it is. It could be a downed F-16, could be a rocket, could be a piece of anything. And for civilians who are getting killed there by the scores now, it doesn't really matter. 200
deaths on both sides, the vast majority of them being civilians. Of course, Charlie Gibson is there in the region as well, and he'll have the very latest on world news tonight. For the rest of the morning's headlines, we go to GMA Weekend anchor now, Kate Snow. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning again, Robin. And there is a lot of news this morning. The Space Shuttle Discovery back on solid ground after a flawless landing at the Kennedy Space Center earlier this morning. There were some concerns about the weather. In fact, it was so cloudy, Shuttle Commander Stephen Lindsay said he couldn't even see the runway until about a minute before landing, but the landing was picture perfect. NASA calls the mission a total victory. Breaking news out of the Indonesian island of Java, where a powerful 7.2 earthquake has triggered a dangerous tsunami. Witnesses say a 6-foot wall of water crashed onto a beach resort. So far, at least 37 people reported dead. Homes along the coast were wiped out, and there was damage to many hotels. In the Senate today, the hot-button topic of stem cell research. Supporters want more federal money for the research, but the president strongly opposes that. Here's ABC's Jake Tapper.
Good morning, Kate. Well, one of the most controversial social issues of George W. Bush's presidency is poised to erupt again this week, the federal funding of embryonic stem cell research. The president may even issue his first ever veto. Scientists say the ability of embryonic stem cells to grow into any type of animal cell makes them key to possible cures for paralysis and diseases including Parkinson's. But 5 years ago, President Bush banned federal funding on research for new embryonic stem cell lines.
I also believe human life is a sacred gift from our Creator.
The president and many conservatives believe embryonic stem cells taken from unused embryos formed during in vitro fertilization are human life.
This is human life, and it should be treated with dignity, that it has a moral status, and that it's something that we shouldn't use our taxpayer dollars to do.
Polls indicate most Americans disagree. 61% find the research morally acceptable. Last summer, the House voted to allow federal funding. On Tuesday, the Senate is expected to as well. The White House has signaled the president will veto the bill.
We're hoping that, he does not thwart the will of the public, and that he takes an opportunity to reevaluate his public policy on this issue, and that he stands up for those who can't.
Democrats think they have finally found a winning social issue that will help them with swing voters in this November's midterm elections. The political question for the president, Kate, does he really want to issue his first ever veto on an issue that so many Americans disagree with him on?
Jake Tapper in Washington. A stormy forecast in Southern California could actually hamper firefighting efforts. Forecasters say if the rain comes too fast, it could trigger flash flooding, and lightning could spark new fires. The good news is the biggest fire in Yucca Valley, now about 70% contained. The owner of that New York City townhouse that exploded a week ago today has died. Dr. Nicholas Bartha was burned over 70% of his body. Police believe he set off the explosion to commit suicide and avoid losing the building to his wife, who he was divorcing. And a spectacular sight in the sky above Ecuador as a volcano spews incandescent rock and dangerous gases. No one has been injured, but 3,700 people have fled their homes since the crater began erupting on Friday, sending at least 4 flows of lava down the mountain. Quite a sight. And that is the news at 7:36. Robin and Bill, back to you.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. It is so good to have Discovery back with her crew. We were watching live this morning, as I'm sure you were there on the West Coast. And sigh of relief. Good to have them home.
Time now for the weather. It's very hot outside. Mike Bars outside our studios. Michael?
Yeah, Bill, not a good idea to wear a suit out here. You need a T-shirt and shorts, probably a good idea. In fact, 90% of the country above normal temperatures. Take a look at some of this. Dallas under a heat advisory this morning, 104 degrees. Guess what? It's not even a record 109 for this date. 99 in nation's capital under a heat advisory, 96 in Chicago. The Midwest could see some scattered storms pop up with some unstable air moving through the area, only below normal in Phoenix. At 106, they're 1 below normal. Today's outlook calls for severe weather across the Great Lakes into the Midwest. Chicago, Des Moines, Detroit could see some large hail, damaging winds, even a tornado or two later today. Showers and thunderstorms will continue for southern Florida along portions of the Gulf. Showers and thunderstorms as well for the 4 corner states in the Southern California. Dry along the West Coast and Northwest. And that's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Nice day here in the Northwest. Any low clouds and fog we do see this morning will burn off very quickly, and we're looking at lots of sunshine and slightly cooler numbers in the upper 70s. But by the week's end, we warm up into the upper 90s. That should happen by Friday and Saturday.
Hey. You warm? You warm? Very warm out here. This portion of weather brought to you by Walmart. Bill?
Michael, thank you. Trapped in the war zone, American students tell us their frightening stories as they try to get out of Beirut. When we come back.
I think the best prescription in life is having more time to enjoy it. So when I pick up my family's prescriptions at Walmart, I'm picking up a few extra minutes in my day. It's where I shop. So it just makes sense to pick them up while I'm there. And that gives us more time to get out and enjoy life.
The pharmacy at Walmart. So go ahead, script your life.
At what point does a car do more than take you from point A to point B? When does it come to life? When does it become your co-conspirator? When does a car become more than just a car? Introducing the all-new 268 horsepower Toyota Camry. It's time to move forward.
With cutting up for kids, we feel really clean. Watch us right now and see what we mean. Follow the prints on the roll and tear it off. That's how we know we got just enough.
the Cottonelle way to make your mom smile.
Help your little ones get the job done right. The new Cottonelle for Kids Toolkit.
Stejně neumí plavat.
Your risks are always evolving. Shouldn't your insurance stay in sync? Travelers.
Do different hair colors deserve the same treatment? Nice and Easy doesn't think so.
That's why it has custom Color Seal gloss in every box, designed to work with your unique color. Brunettes and reds stay rich, blondes shine on. Custom Color Seal gloss, only in Nice and Easy. From Clairol.
Yeah, I heard that Silk soy milk can do this, do that, do the other. Margaret went on and on about the heart health benefits and soy protein. And I said, it's healthy. Listen, I get it. I'll drink it. Okay?
I have lost over 65 pounds on Jenny Craig. And
Hey, Kirsty, I lost 90 pounds.
Yeah, and since I started, all sorts of Jenny clients have lost over 3 million pounds. But it was me.
Kirsty, I'm down 140.
Good. But
Kirsty, 52 pounds. Here's my old fat pants.
I have groupies.
Get 6 weeks for just $36 plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY20 today.
Have you called Jenny yet? Apparently everybody else has.
A few weeks ago, nobody expected any violence in Beirut, Lebanon, especially not young adults who are spending this summer on an exchange program at the American University of Beirut. But now the U.S. government is planning how to evacuate 25,000 Americans from that country. Lena Oda and Nicholas Jim Bruno are two of the American students trapped in Lebanon, and Lena's mother, Camille, is in Chicago. I spoke to them a short time ago. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us. Let me start in Beirut. Lena and Nicholas, first tell us how you're doing over there.
Doing all right.
Yeah, doing fine.
All right. The sounds of war, I assume, are everywhere. You're not that far from the Mediterranean Sea. You're not that far from the airport. You hear the bombs going off?
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone, especially because we're right next to the sea. From my dorm, you definitely can because we're right on the sea, like about a block away, 2 blocks. So for about 5 days now, we've been able to see Israeli ships.
And tell me what it's like to live through that bombing. Tell me what it feels like when you hear those bombs go off. And are you scared?
No, I'm not scared. But it is kind of discomforting to hear it, obviously. But AUB is the safest place that you can possibly be right now for students. And no, I don't feel scared on AUB.
The dorm that I'm in is particularly loud, so the first few days were a bit frightening for most of us, especially because we were able to hear them hit the port this morning. But otherwise, we know that we're safe on the campus, but it's still frightening to have to wake up to loud booms and feeling the building shake.
Well, I can imagine it is, and we should say that AB is the American University in Beirut. I assume that's what you're talking about, Nicholas. Let me bring Camille Oda in. She is in Chicago. Camille, you're going to be able to see this on television. I assume you're taping it. You can talk to your daughter now live on television. What would you like to say to her, and how are you feeling about all this?
Lena, honey, take care of yourself and be so careful. I'm terrified about what's happening. I'm scared, I'm sad, I'm upset. I want my daughter to come home. I want the other children to come home. I want the other mothers and fathers and families to have their children and families come back. We have 25,000 people who are now in Lebanon who are from the United States. I'm saddened by watching the bombings take place every day and see all of the civilians who are being killed and maimed and wounded. I'm upset.
As a parent, I empathize with you so much. I have a son and daughter, and I'm just trying to figure out if they were there, what I would be feeling. Lena, when you hear your mom talk like that, I suspect you might want to just go home to Chicago and give her a big hug and be home again.
Of course, I mean, we all want to go home, especially with the situation that it is. This is my first time traveling without my family, on my own. You know, I'm only 19, and so being away from them in general was hard enough as it is, let alone with this situation. For all of us, I mean, I have friends whose parents and families who are also American, who are stuck in southern Beirut and in southern Lebanon. And so we're afraid for them also, because we hope that everybody, including the Americans that are in the south, can be evacuated as soon as possible.
What is the university telling you? Is there any plan to get you guys out of there and evacuate you?
There was an original plan to take us to Amman via Syria through a bus, but it turned out to be that that probably wouldn't be the safest way to get out, and that the U.S. Embassy could provide safer transportation.
You guys take care of yourselves. Camille,
sure.
We all feel your pain. We hope the children can get out of there soon. 25,000 Americans still in Lebanon. You all be safe in Beirut. And Camille, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some very brave young Americans. I think it's harder for the parents than it is for the students who are there. Now, if you have a loved one stranded in Lebanon, here's the contact number from the State Department. You can get the latest information. It's 888-407-4747, or you can go to their website, www.travel.state.gov. And good luck to everyone who is over there. It is now 7:45. Beating the odds when we come back, America's racehorse Barbaro on the road to recovery again.
Wow, Jane looks fantastic.
Hi, guys.
Coffee?
Yes. And this and this.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
Eating breakfast.
Really?
Yeah, the Special K breakfast. Full of Special K red berries, fruit, and coffee. It's less than 250 calories for all this.
It's no secret. Research shows women who eat breakfast, like the Special K breakfast, way less.
All the same. Yeah, we should.
Take back breakfast today with the Special K breakfast.
Intelligent key technology that knows you. Seats that hug you. A ride that spoils you. The next Nissan Maxima, part of the next generation of Nissan thinking.
This Friday,
That house is haunted. No more Mountain Dew.
Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg deliver the best family film of the year.
So cool.
And Ebert and Roper give it 2 very big thumbs up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Monster House, directed by Gil Kennan, rated PG.
My kids call me the finisher. Finish up in there.
Okay.
Finish your homework?
Yes.
Finish your vegetables. Something I thought I was finished with? Managing my acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn, but my doctor said over time, stomach acid was damaging the lining of my esophagus. She prescribed Nexium, said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. 1 prescription Nexium pill a day not only relieves my heartburn, it healed erosions in my esophagus. So I don't just feel better, I am better. And with the Purple Plus program, I get advice on nutrition, exercise, even ways to save on Nexium. My doctor did say headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium, and other serious stomach conditions may still exist.
Talk to your doctor about the healing purple pill.
I tell him you shouldn't do anything halfway. Let's finish up.
If you're without prescription coverage and can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
I love it. I just love it. I'm so glad I chose Mary's Woods, and the activities I love. I'm a swimmer, and the swimming pool is perhaps the most important thing to me.
Mary's Woods really made it quite easy for us to make the transition.
It's just a delightful community to live in, and there's a lot of caring for one another.
Celebrating age, celebrating life. Mary's Woods Retirement Community in Lake Oswego.
Mattress World's having a specialty bedding sale.
For the first time, save 30% on air beds, latex mattresses, and NASA Design memory foam.
That's right. Adjust your own firmness or experience total pressure relief at huge discounts.
And why pay at Christmas when you can get no interest and no payments for 1 full year?
Mattress World's hard-to-find locations will save you money.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
If we can't beat any price on any comparable mattress, then the mattress is free.
Now the latest on Barbaro, the Kentucky Derby winner who tragically broke his right leg in 3 places while running in the Preakness Stakes in May. Last week, he suffered a major setback when he developed a hoof infection called laminitis, which can be fatal. I spoke with a surgeon treating Barbaro, Dr. Dean Richardson of the George Widener Hospital in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Dr. Richardson, how is Barbaro doing this morning?
He had a restful night last night. That's really how we're assessing him each night, is whether or not he gets up and down and sleeps well, and then when he gets up that he eats normally and his vital signs are all good. Today, he had a very good night last night. His heart rate is absolutely normal, and he's eating well, and he looks pretty. If you were to see him, you'd think he's a fairly comfortable, happy horse, but his pain is being intensively managed.
It's good to hear his spirits are good.
Yes, I mean, like I said, one of the most important things that we're assessing is really the subjective appearance of the horse. Right now, I don't think anybody could look at this horse and be really interested in not going on because he looks that bright and happy. That's great news to hear. I know that you're very cautious. Just last week, you said the chances of Barbaro surviving were very poor. People want to hear the best, and I understand that, but the reality is that we're not talking about a day-to-day type of a problem at this point. Really what we're talking about now is going to be, even the absolute best case scenario is going to be many months of very extensive medical care and rehabilitation. I hear there has been another outpouring of love and support. He's getting sugar cubes and apples from well-wishers all across the country. There's absolutely been no shortage at any time of well wishes for this horse. If you know, prayers and apples and carrots and peppermints would heal this horse, he'd be already frolicking in a pasture somewhere. There's no shortage there. There's been plenty of outpouring of affection for this horse. Dr. Dean Richardson, thank you so much. You take care. Thank you, Robin. I'm telling you, Barbaro he's captivated us, and he's just captured our hearts.
All the problems in the world and the country, and people focus on this horse. It's amazing, the outpouring of love for this guy.
And again, Dr. Richardson is very cautious, and I remember speaking with Dr. Richardson right after the injury and said this laminitis was a distinct possibility, but feels that he could very well beat the odds.
We'll be right back. Coming up on Good Morning America, Marilyn Monroe golfing? For the first time, you're going to see the ultimate movie star as you've never seen her before. We have exclusive new pictures straight ahead. Also this morning, Bug Bite 101. Did you get eaten alive this weekend? Didn't feel very good, did it? We've got new information on how to beat the bites.
They say it truly exists, so we seek it out. A miracle food that nourishes the mind and body. We call it the egg.
Being a realtor is the all-American job.
I'm an entrepreneur at heart.
I'm a small business just like the coffee shop on the corner.
Very involved in my community.
We do more than just help people buy and sell homes. It has to do with making a difference in people's lives.
Helping people find a piece of the American dream is the best job in the whole world.
Realtors don't just help you buy and sell homes. They're small business owners who help build communities. Ask if your agent is a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
I help people live the American dream every day.
Flavor can change how you look at water. Propel Fitness Water. Hydration never looked so refreshing. Propel. It's how Gatorade does water.
Why ask your doctor about Botox Cosmetic?
This is my time.
Everyone has their own reason. Go to BotoxCosmetic.com to find a doctor nearby. Ask your doctor about the one, the only Botox Cosmetic.
Isn't it about time?
open Whirlpool Cabrio washes up to 3 baskets of laundry in a single load and uses less than half the energy. Because there's more to every day than just laundry. Whirlpool, inspired by you.
Dive into summer with LA Weight Loss and lose up to 7 pounds in 1 week.
I lost 8 pounds in the first week. 8 pounds. I bought a whole new wardrobe. Tank tops, halter tops, bikinis. I lost 7 pounds in the first week. You can do it.
I knew I was LA when I bought my first 2-piece bathing suit. Bathing suits, short skirts, thank you, LA Weight Loss.
For the center nearest you, call 1-866-485-SLIM.
Dear Dr. Z, are Dodge trucks more than just Hemis? The new Dodge Ram has a new frame for improved ride and handling, and Dodge Durango has an electronic stability program, a technology we invented. What would you expect from the world's largest producer of commercial vehicles?
Kirk! You forgot Hemi with fuel-saving MDS.
Sorry.
Actors. Get Employee Pricing Plus 0% financing on 2006 Dodge vehicles. If not satisfied, simply return it within 30 days.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Whirlpool, inspired by you.
New from ABC, 11 contestants all with the same dream. Forced to live together, train together, and compete against each other. Live tomorrow, the one show Fox doesn't want you to see. Follow their journey, feel their struggles, and share in their triumphs. Because in the end, you will choose the one. Making a Music Star premieres tomorrow 9/8 Central only on ABC.
Time to replace those drafty old windows? Now you can save energy with new vinyl windows from CertainTeed. They're proven performers in more than 1 million homes. Exclusive Thermoflex glass gives you the best energy ratings in its class and blocks 82% of damaging UV rays. Plus, CertainTeed windows are easy to care for and always look great.
For quality windows and building products priced right, look to Canby Builder Supply. At Canby Builders, we've got it. Everything for the contractor and home remodeler.
This summer, get the sunblock that also blocks the bite. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast Sunblock and Repellent. Up to 8-hour protection against harmful rays and pesky bites without the odor. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast. Block the burn and the bite.
Oh no. Turn around. He's right behind you. Ah!
Grab all the pillows you need. Every pillow's on sale. This week, only at Kmart.
Do you suffer from sore feet? Many people have found relief from sore feet, back, knee, or even hip pain by calling the Good Feet store.
Thanks to my arch supports, I was able to walk around all day long pain-free.
Feeling unplugged from your friends and family? Get started today at Willoughby Hearing, where we plug people back into life. Hear for yourself what new American-made technology can do for you. You'll get what you pay for with our True Price Promise. Our FitCheck system will give you instant confidence. Willoughby is Oregon's oldest family-owned and most trusted hearing aid specialist. See how Willoughby can plug you back into life.
Find out more about Willoughby. Go to the yellow box at KATU.com and type in hearing aids.
Katie Harmon is our guest host today at 9.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:58, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news this Monday morning. The Hillsborough Air Show ended in tragedy when a 1951 British fighter jet crashed into a neighborhood. K2's Colleen Nelson joins us live with the latest. Good morning, Colleen.
Good morning, Julia. This morning, federal investigators on the scene of the crash site, Northeast 60th and Harvest, to try to piece together what caused Bob Guilford's plane to crash yesterday. Around 4:30 yesterday afternoon, a viewer captured on video this single-engine Hawker Hunter jet airplane take off from the Hillsborough Airport. Soon after, it appeared to have engine problems, and this shows the plane dip behind the trees. The house it crashed into went up in flames. The pilot of that plane died in the crash, but no one was home at the time and no injuries on the ground. Again, investigators out here today to try to figure out exactly what happened. Reporting live in Hillsborough, Colleen Nelson, K2 News.
Thanks so much, Colleen. It is time now to check on the morning commute. Here's Travis Demers. Good morning, Travis.
Good morning. It's pretty routine out there on your freeways. We do have an accident to report. Highway 18 and Highway 22. Highway 18 reportedly blocked, according to Oregon State Police. As we look at the west side, it's slow on the Sunset from 217 into 405. On 217 right now, expect your normal delays, although it's actually looking pretty good there at Allen. Northbound I-5 through the two older curves, pretty heavy as it normally is through this time of the morning. And 205 is pretty heavy as well, northbound at Foster Road. Everything else is your normal morning commute. Julia, back to you.
Thanks so much, Travis. A gorgeous morning and plenty of sunshine. Any cloud cover we do have will burn off very quickly. It's currently 57 degrees in Portland. We do have a little bit of low clouds and marine layer over near Astoria, where it's 58 degrees at this hour. This afternoon, we warm up to 78 degrees. Lots of sunshine. It'll be slightly cooler than it was over the weekend. A mild night tonight and a similar day to tomorrow, but then a warming trend. The end of the week, we get up into the mid-90s and possibly even the triple digits by Saturday and Sunday.
Good morning, America. As we are on the brink of war crisis in the Middle East, we're keeping you updated on the situation there. Diane Sawyer is on vacation this Monday, July 17th, 2006. Happy to be joined by 2020 and WABC's Bill Ritter.
What a busy morning. Glad you could start your week with us, but breaking news everywhere.
Yeah, a couple of breaking stories that we're working on. The escalating violence, of course, in the Middle East. And also, we will keep you updated. We have correspondents there throughout the region. And the Space Shuttle Discovery returns to Earth. All systems go. We'll bring you all the very latest on both stories ahead.
Also this half hour, Office Undercover. Should you spy on a future boss? Hey, before you take a new job, you really should know what you're getting into. Straight ahead, how to avoid working for a real devil in Prada or in anything else.
And GMA's Best Summer Ever looks at a bug's life. How can you keep ticks, mosquitoes, spiders, gnats, as we say down south, from ruining your summer fun? We have the tips to keep you family critter free. But first, you're keeping you critter free. Yeah. First, GMA weekend anchor Kate Snow has the latest news again. Kate.
Good morning, Robin. We begin in Beirut, where people are hunkering down to try to survive a state of siege. ABC's David Wright is there and has experienced some frightening moments. Good morning again, David.
Kate, we just got another dramatic example of the explosions that we see here on a daily basis. And a few hours ago, an even more dramatic example, a piece of flaming metal came hurtling across the hilltop directly towards our camera position here. At first, we thought it was an Israeli missile targeting our position. It now seems that it may have been a piece of an Israeli aircraft that had been broken off because of fires shot from the ground. Not clear entirely what it was, but it seems like a dangerous example of how this situation quickly spins out of control. The bombing continues almost nonstop. Right now, shelling the southern Beirut neighborhood that's considered a Hezbollah stronghold. They've taken the brunt of the firepower, but Israel is bombing all across this country. Kate?
David Wright, stay safe, please. Some of the 25,000 Americans in Lebanon say they're concerned and frustrated with U.S. efforts to get them out. The government says security teams are in Beirut working on evacuation plans. So far, they've airlifted more than 20 Americans with special needs. And this morning, a State Department official told us ships are on the way.
We think road travel is not safe right now. We do not recommend it. We recommend strongly that people stay in place, that they register with us so that we can help them participate in a plan that is safe and dependable.
Britain, France, and Italy began evacuating their citizens over the weekend. If you listen closely, you'll hear a big sigh of relief coming from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where the Space Shuttle Discovery made a picture-perfect landing this morning. ABC's Lisa Stark joins us now with details. Good morning, Lisa.
Kate, the Discovery crew made it look so easy. They glided to a perfect landing here at the Kennedy Space Center. They just recently came out of the orbiter, greeted by NASA Administrator Michael Griffin. They'll go and have some medical checkups before they talk to the media later today. Now, the astronauts really feel as though this mission, which was really almost flawless, put them back on track. The next launch now scheduled for August, where they will begin in earnest to build up the International Space Station. Kate?
Lisa Stark, thank you. A terrifying plane crash during an air show in Oregon. A vintage plane plunged into a residential neighborhood, clipping 3 homes. 2 of them burst into flames. Witnesses say the plane was doing a loop and couldn't pull out in time, hitting the houses as it went down. The pilot was killed. No one on the ground was injured. And finally, Pirates of the Caribbean plundered another chest full of gold doubloons from the box office. The Johnny Depp sequel is now the year's top-grossing film, earning $62 million over the weekend for a 10-day total of $258 million. The comedy Little Man took second place, and You, Me, and Dupree came in at third. And that is the news at 8:04. Time now for the weather. Mike.
Morning, Kate. Hey, say hi to a Little League baseball team. They were up in Cooperstown. They're from Oahu. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hang loose, right? That's the symbol right there. Let's get you caught up on the weather. It's probably cooler out there. Actually, it is cooler out in Hawaii today compared to the rest of the United States. Excessive heat warnings all over the place. Take a look at some of these temperatures. Dodge City, 108 today. That'll be one above a record of 107. To the east, Chicago climbed to 96 degrees today. Still not a record there. 100 in New York. In fact, it could be 100 degrees in Central Park today, which would tie a record set way back in 1953. Today's outlook calls for severe weather for today and tonight across the Great Lakes into the Midwest. To the east, as many as 7 states from Virginia to Connecticut are under heat advisories today, and showers and thunderstorms for the 4 corner states into Southern California. Dry along the West Coast and Northwest. And that's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We're starting off with a very nice day here in the Northwest. It will be slightly cooler thanks to a nice onshore flow that's coming in from the Northwest that will help keep things or take the edge off the heat today. We should reach a high of about 78 degrees and plenty of blue sky. Any fog we do see this morning will burn off very quickly. Then overnight tonight, a mild evening, 5-day forecast and 10-day trend. Tomorrow's another nice day. But then by the week's end, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we warm up into the mid-90s and possibly even triple digits by Saturday.
And the time right now, just about 8:06. Bill?
Michael, thank you. Now to Marilyn Monroe. And if the blonde bombshell were alive today, she'd be celebrating her 80th birthday in June. She might even look something like this. It's a picture that's been aged by artist Lynn Waldron. Marilyn at 80 is a woman, of course, that we'll never get to know. But this morning we do have an exclusive look behind the scenes at Marilyn Monroe in her prime, from a woman who knew her intimately. Joining us this morning, Dolores Hope Massey, who has a personal collection of treasures given to her by Marilyn Monroe, including a rare home video of Marilyn Monroe shot by Joe DiMaggio. Welcome, Dolores.
Thank you.
Tell us first how you know Marilyn Monroe, how you knew Marilyn Monroe.
Well, my father grew up with Joe DiMaggio. They were best friends, and he knew Marilyn from the studio. He played a lot of movies at Fox, and he brought Marilyn home one day, and she just loved being at our house, felt comfortable. And Marilyn and Joe got married and moved into our home in Sherman Oaks.
And home, as you said, was in Sherman Oaks,
yes.
In San Fernando Valley in
yes.
Los Angeles. She grew up in Los Angeles. What's the age difference between you two?
20 years.
So you're 60, she was 80.
Yes.
So I didn't mean to say
That's
your age.
okay. Thank you very
look
much.
Fabulous,
I can't lie about it now.
We're looking at Never Again. Good Morning America has you on record. Let's take a look at some of these pictures because there's a Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. This is a picture of her behind the set, and there's her with Joe DiMaggio. You remember him, right? He
of
lived
course.
in your house as a
Yeah,
little
he
child.
and my dad were best friends.
Let's look at some of these pictures because they're just amazing. And speaking of your father, this is a picture of your father. Is he teaching Marilyn Monroe how to roller skate?
Yes, she was making the movie Monkey Business, and she was very nervous about skating, and my father taught her how to skate. He was an exceptional sports person and could do anything, so he taught her how to skate.
They were both so young looking, right?
Yes, yes.
Let's look at this one. This is, she's really in a potato sack there, right?
She is. The potato industry was in trouble, and they wanted to do something, and my father said, well, she will look great even in a potato sack. They had one made from a potato sack, and she looks great.
She sold them potatoes, didn't she?
She did.
There is just something about her so captivating. What do you think it is, in your words?
It's just a natural beauty from inside. She was just an incredible person, had a warmth about her that nobody really knew.
And yet so troubled. We know so much about her personal demons. And did you feel that at all when you were with
Yes,
her?
well, of course, I was 9 years old, but yes, I could see the days that she was troubled, and I could see it in her face, and other days she was just happy to be home with us.
Okay, let's look at this third picture if we could. This is Marilyn Monroe, I think, without makeup, without anything on, waking up in the morning, right?
Just got up, went into the dining room to sit down. My mom was making breakfast, and she was no makeup, no hair, just not fixed, and just sitting reading the newspaper.
And she is stunning. I think that's my favorite picture.
That is my favorite picture.
It's just so beautiful. It's such a natural beauty. One more picture. I don't know who this is with her.
That's my mother.
That's your mother. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
my mother and she were very, very close friends, and whenever Marilyn had to sing, my mother would accompany her to the set and just calm her down quite a bit.
Now, you brought with you as well some home video.
Yes.
Of Marilyn Monroe being taught
yes.
how to play golf. Let's take a look at that, and if you could talk over this. All right, now who's teaching her?
My father.
That's your father with her. Taught her how to roller skate, now teaching her how to play golf. And I suspect most people are not going to be looking at the technique of her golf swing, right?
No, but she looks great.
She does.
She makes it look good.
She's on a driving range in the valley, is that right?
Yes, right by Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank there.
Okay. And I don't think that driving range is probably still there today,
No, it
right?
isn't. I went and actually looked. No, it's not there.
And you still live right near there, right?
No, I moved to Las Vegas now, but I still come back and visit all the time.
Okay. Well, now we know where you live and we know how old you are.
Yes,
I'm so
that's
sorry,
right.
Dolores.
Thank you.
As we keep watching this, and I'd like to show this again because it's just fantastic. It's never been seen on national television before. Dolores Hope Massey. Dolores Hope is the name of a famous person.
Yes, she's my godmother.
Dolores Hope, as in Bob Hope's
yes.
wife.
Yes.
And why is she your godmother?
Well, she was my mother's maid of honor. They were best friends for years, and when my mom got pregnant, she says, well, I just love you to name her after me. So that's my name. I'm very proud of it.
Look at that. What a heritage you have. You're also wearing some jewelry that I understand was given to you?
Yes. Marilyn would come home from the studio every day, bring jewelry, clothes, and give it to my mom and I. These are from the movie Don't Bother to Knock with Richard Widmark, and this was from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And this was just one of her favorites she would wear to any gala event.
Nothing from diamonds or a girl's best friend, because those diamonds are your best friend, I suspect.
Yes, they are.
Right? and I don't want to be crude, but I suspect those are real, right? Otherwise
yes,
you wouldn't be wearing them on
That's
national
right.
television. These diamonds over here, too, I understand there's something special about that cat pendant next to you.
Yes, that's what she brought me back when she came back from Japan. It's actually a numbered piece, and it's sterling silver with amethyst eyes, and it's special to me.
Before we go to the close, I just want to say, you're not auctioning these off. You're just doing
no.
this because you love Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, no, yes. I just want to share it with everybody.
Okay, we have just a few seconds left. Tell me about these three outfits very quickly.
She wore that in Asphalt Jungle. It's a beautiful blouse. This was from Niagara.
With Joseph Cotton there, I
yes,
remember that,
and the beaded jacket is a gift that she received when she was in Japan. She brought it back.
Just fantastic. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dolores
Thank you
Hope
for having
Massey.
me.
And Dolores Hope, what a name you have, and what a legacy you have helped share with us this morning. Thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
All right. For more on Dolores Hope Massey's Maryland collection, you can go to our website, abcnews.com. Thank you so much for joining us, Dolores.
Thank you.
Coming up next, spy job. Never say yes to a new boss until you're really sure who you're dealing with. How a little snooping can help you decide if this boss is for you.
On extension 320.
Roll call working Tuesday, September 11. Color for the day is green. As always, protect yourselves, watch each other's backs. We gotta evacuate the tower. Who's coming? Step forward.
I got it, Sarge.
I'll go. All right. Follow me. Stay together. Can you still see the light?
Yeah!
World Trade Center, rated PG-13. Starts Wednesday, August 9th.
Remember the mouth-watering tastes of the old farm stand? Help your kids rediscover those summer-inspired tastes with Sunny D's new orange peach and orange strawberry flavors. 2 new tastes of summer. New Sunny D blends.
With me, it's about trust. Stanley Steamer is a national company with trained technicians. I know they're going to clean my carpet the right way.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets carpet cleaner.
Dr. Robert Jarvik, inventor of the artificial heart.
The average heart beats 2 billion times. The heart is amazing.
but high cholesterol can lead to heart disease. Lipitor can help. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor significantly lowers bad cholesterol, 39 to 60%. If you have several common risk factors for heart disease, Lipitor is clinically proven to reduce your risk of heart attack. And more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own families than any other cholesterol-lowering brand. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. It's your heart. Ask if Lipitor is right for you. Visit Lipitor.com for a free trial.
Interest rates keep climbing, and so are your monthly payments. Refinance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save as much as $250 a month. Call 1-800-555-TREE now to lower your monthly payments. When banks compete, you win.
If you love Pepperidge Farm cookies like Milano with their rich, dark chocolate and exquisite texture, you're not alone. Pepperidge Farm cookies. Remember what's good.
Office Depot, a leader in mobile technology, can build a notebook computer to the most important specs of all, yours. Office Depot will customize a notebook to help you go wireless wherever your work life takes you. Now build an HP Pavilion with Intel Centrino mobile technology and an all-in-one printer starting at $499.99 after mail-in and instant savings.
Taking care of
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Yo, Pepto-Bismol. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Yo, Pepto-Bismol. Pink does more than you think.
Thursday, GMA's Vacationland USA hits the spa. The most relaxing vacations for every budget and family. We're talking everything new, mud, aquatherapy, and citrus cool downs. So what are the top 10 spa escapes just for you? Watch Good Morning America, Thursday.
Friday, a GMA blockbuster event. The American Idol, Taylor Hicks, live in an exclusive GMA morning concert event. Friday, it's the Soul Patrol Live, Taylor Hicks, on GMA Summer Concert Series, presented by New Vanilla Mint Listerine.
I don't have to remind you that it is Monday morning, 5 working days left until your weekend. Think you'll make it? Will your boss make it feel like 10 days? A recent Gallup poll on 1 million workers found that a bad relationship with the boss is a #1 reason for quitting a job. So we decided to hit the streets and see whether the bad boss phenomenon is as widespread as this poll suggests.
All right, everyone, gird your loins.
Have you ever had a boss that sent you scurrying with fear, like Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada?
Miranda, hi. Look, I'm trying to get you a flight, but no one is flying out because of the weather.
Please, it's just, I don't know, drizzling.
One of the things that drove me crazy about my former boss was he was a yeller.
He flipped out. He took a file folder, ripped it in half.
He was berating me on the phone all the time.
I tried to tell you that you were starting to gain weight.
I had a different boss that slapped my hand one time.
If coffee wasn't the right way, his entire day would be completely ruined.
We have sort of a problem here.
But what if you could discover your boss's bizarre quirks before you took the job in the first place?
I'm not such a bad guy.
You're a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot.
A bevy of websites are now giving job seekers a leg up, spilling the dirt on potential employers before it's too late.
They want to know everything about you, and it would be great to know about what kind of boss you have.
I wouldn't have accepted the job if I had known that he was intimidating.
What, are you looking for a raise? Get out.
Even if I had known he was like that, I probably still would have worked there.
Did you see the memo about this?
If you can live through that, you can live through anything.
Joining us now is GMA Workplace contributor Tori Johnson, who's also CEO of Women for Hire. #1 reason, according to this poll, Tori, why people will leave a job, they can't get along with the boss. They have a bad boss. This is something that's really serious to a lot of folks.
Very serious. In fact, we often, when we leave a position, we're quitting our boss. We're not quitting the position or the company. We might love what we do, but we can't stand who we work with, so we decide to move on.
Yeah, we saw this in the Wall Street Journal, and it was talking about how this is really a generation of people now that will go to the internet for information.
That's right.
And they're getting info on...
Tons of it.
It's amazing how this is working.
That's right. The ease and the anonymity of the internet makes it possible that anybody with a computer can, in a sense, dish about their boss, and they're doing it. They're doing a lot of dishing. They're getting out lots of information, and it's easy for some of us to find. We can go onto any of the big social networking websites. We can go into random message boards, and we can find out information about the people that we might want to work for.
Okay, but how reliable is this information? Because it's so much easier for people. They seem to enjoy to... it's very hard for people to compliment one another.
Sure.
They're easy.
It's a lot easier, of course, to spew criticism than compliments.
Right.
And so you want to take all of it with a grain of salt. But you don't want to be totally dismissive, because often where there's smoke, there's potential fire. And so, for example, maybe I see that somebody is a yeller, or maybe I determine that this position is just impossible to fill, the turnover's so high. You want to use that information that you're gathering from these anonymous sources and really pose some questions during the interview process. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make often is that we're so accustomed to selling ourselves that we don't require the employer to sell themselves to us.
Interview the employer. Turn
You
it
got
around. So
it.
what kind of
Turn it around.
What kind of questions should you ask?
First, most important, why is this position vacant? Sometimes you'll find out it's vacant because there's a lot of turnover. You want to find out what's the root of that turnover. What's the cause of it? Why is this a difficult position for you to fill and a difficult position for you to retain people in? Tell me about your management style. Maybe I've heard that, you know, someone's a yeller, and I might not in the interview say, you know, I heard you're a bully, I heard you're a meanie, but I could certainly say, tell me a little bit about your management style. Tell me what the ideal candidate for you would be. What would you want that person to do? Tell me about the traits and styles that you really look for in the ideal candidate.
You know, a lot of people might be sitting there this morning going, okay, like I have a choice who I work for. Like I can say, well, you know, that's not the person. I'm going to go work for this person. You just want a job, especially when you're younger. But it does help to get information on these people so you can find a way to their little quirks and work with them a little bit better.
Absolutely. You want to know as much as you can. There's a woman I worked with not too long ago who heard that this boss really demanded very long hours from his people, and she was worried that if she said, you know, what are the hours? I hear you demand a lot of hours, he would have nixed her from the running. So instead I suggested that she say during the interview process, can you tell me what it is that you expect from your employees? What does a typical day look like? And what are the general hours that you expect people to work? And it was a very easy way to ease into it. And he said, you know what, everyone in this department works until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. She knew that wasn't going to work well for her family situation, for her personal obligations, and for her commute. And so she was able to then use that as a way of saying, I bring a unique skill set, but those hours would potentially be a problem for me. And so she used that information, was able to bring it up in the interview process and work out a solution versus getting into the job and then discovering that it's not the right fit.
Great solution. And you also should remember your boss, prospective boss, could be reading what you're putting on online.
The boss could definitely find it, but I like to say to the boss, this perhaps is a reason that maybe you shouldn't behave as badly as you have been behaving, because people are watching, people are talking, and people are blogging about it. So perhaps bosses could take note as well.
You got it. We hear you're a great boss, Tori. All right. Thanks
So
a
they
lot.
say.
We'll have much more in just a moment. Come on back. That's what they say. Word on the street.
My attitude is I am a 61-year young woman with diabetes. I found a better attitude when it comes to eating.
New One Touch Ultra 2 with before and after meal averages can help you see how food affects your blood sugar.
I can enjoy food again. Under control.
One touch changes everything, yeah.
We can't see our insides. I can't see my heart. How do I know what kind of shape it's in? I cannot. But I can eat things like soy protein that can help keep it healthy. So I drink Silk.
Are you at home trying to sleep, but your mind is still at the office? Reviewing tomorrow's agenda, charting out the future? Maybe it's time for you to be the boss. Ask your doctor about Lunesta, even if you've never thought of taking a prescription sleep aid before. Lunesta is non-narcotic and approved for long-term use. And Lunesta can help you get a full night's sleep at last. Lunesta works quickly, so take it right before bed. Of course, do not use sleep medicines for extended periods without first talking to your doctor. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. For a great night's sleep, leave the rest to Lunesta. Ask your doctor.
On July 28th,
Come with us.
no hero is too small.
Come with me if you want to live.
And no adventure is too big. From producer Tom Hanks, The Ant Bully, rated PG.
It feels like a dull shooting pain. I couldn't do the fun ice cream outings with the family. They would all have ice cream and I would have a bottle of water. My dentist told me about Sensodyne. It's toothpaste. It's easy to use. It's an easy fix for an uncomfortable problem.
The Roaming Gnome, enforcer of the Travelocity Guarantee.
Uh-oh, all is not well. I must tell them. Good morning.
Hello. Speaking?
So, you're calling to help me rebook?
Because the hotel pool's under construction?
Oh, dear.
Wow.
The Travelocity Guarantee. Looking out for you even before you go.
Ooh, tingly.
When is blueberry mysterious? Or apple cuddly? When is cherry perky? When they're among the many flavors of Smuckers, the finest fruit picked at the peak of perfection. A bounty of flavors for the many moods of you. So what are you in the mood for? For over 100 years, with a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news this Monday morning. The pilot of a 1950s-era fighter jet is dead after his plane crashed into a home near the Hillsborough Airport. Bob Guilford was taking off for home during the Hillsborough Air Show when he lost control and plummeted into a house on Northeast 60th and Harvest. He was killed, but luckily no one was home at the time. The family of a woman run down and left for dead in the Columbia Gorge is pleading for whoever hit her to come forward. Kim Powell died Saturday night at Legacy Emmanuel. On Friday, the 23-year-old was jogging along Frontage Road in Dodson when she was hit by an unknown passenger car. The impact threw her into some roadside brush where passing fishermen spotted her at least a half an hour later. Family and friends say Powell's mother is devastated.
Right now she's in bed. She's holding on to her picture. Just saying, you know, God, my Kim. She was blossoming, going from that teenager state to this young woman, and she was just starting to enjoy life.
The only clue at the scene is a right side rearview mirror. Police hope the driver comes forward, but if you see a car missing its right side mirror, police hope you'll write down the license plate and give them a call. A reminder for drivers this morning, starting today, a $3 million construction project begins on Hawthorne Boulevard between 20th and 55th Avenues. The year-long project will extend sidewalks, improve road signals, and make improvements to the sewer system. Its main goal is to improve pedestrian safety, and traffic will be limited to one lane in each direction during most of the day, except for morning and evening rush hours, during which time a third lane will be open. Your forecast for the day looking pretty nice. It should be slightly cooler today than it was over the weekend, so temperatures in the upper 70s versus the 80s we saw. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now from the Hood River Inn, or courtesy of the Hood River Inn in the Columbia River Gorge. Gorgeous there. Lots of blue sky, the mountain looking beautiful this morning. Should get a bit breezy on the east side of the gorge later on this afternoon as northwest winds kick up to between 10 and 20 miles per hour. The latest satellite picture showing a little cloud cover near Astoria and Long Beach. Also the Grays Harbor area seeing some cloud cover this morning, and also along the extreme south coast of Oregon. Anything we do see should burn off fairly quickly, even if it creeps here into the Willamette Valley. Should get out of here soon. We're starting off with numbers in the mid to upper 50s. Currently 57 degrees in Portland and Vancouver, 56 in Salem, and plenty of sunshine all over the Willamette Valley. This afternoon, we warm up to 78 degrees. Tonight, a mild evening, dropping down to 57 by morning. 5-day forecast and 10-day trend. Another beautiful day tomorrow, but then by the end of the week, we start to heat up. cranking up that heat by Friday, 96 degrees. And Saturday and Sunday, we could hit triple digits. We'll have more local news and weather coming up at midday. That's at noon. We hope to see you then. Otherwise, have a great day.
The music timeless. The names legendary. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Freedom of Speech, 06. Friday, July 28th, the Amphitheater at Clark County. David Crosby, Stephen Stills, Graham Nash, and Neil Young. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Reserve seats are on sale now at all Ticketmaster outlets or online at livenation.com. Brought to you by Live Nation.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
The Toyota Sienna is the only minivan named a double best pick for crash safety. Because sometimes the smartest thing Toyota can do isn't try to make your life better, but make sure it stays exactly as it is. Get the safety of Sienna with $1,000 customer cash. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward.
V8 presents V-Fusion. If you think getting a full serving of fruits and a full serving of vegetables into a single juice is amazing, wait until you taste it. New V8 V-Fusion Juice. Don't just live, thrive.
The response was overwhelming.
Are 30 things everyone should know.
Next time, what you want to know in the kitchen.
Martha, you're my hero.
For breakfast.
This is not.
Lunch.
Smells like Martha.
And don't forget dessert. Faith Ford, David Allen Greer, and Courtney Thorne-Smith want to know too. Plus, Matt Lauer's packing a suitcase.
So you wanted to know if I was a boxer or a brief guy, right?
Yeah. Our 30 things everyone should know, backed by popular demand, next Martha.
Today at 11 on K2, the spirit of the Northwest.
Our 30 things everyone should know, backed by popular demand, next Martha.
Know that man anywhere. Boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard in search of America's next big fighter. That's right. That ring is right downstairs.
Right below us. Right this very moment. He looks good.
He's going to be trading blows with Mike Bars. Could he have been a contender, Mr. Bars? We're going to find out ahead. That is a good-looking ring, I got to tell you. Good morning, America. Diane Sawyer's on. I'm easily amused, as you can tell, especially when you just come off a vacation. See a ring like that, and I'm like, wee!
Yeah.
Diane is on vacation. Pleased to be joined at the anchor desk by WABC's N2020's Bill Ritter.
Nice to be here. We have a very big morning of breaking news. Lots of things happening in the Middle East. Another rocket attack. We're told, I'm just going to turn to the computer. Rocket attacks in Haifa. A 3-story building badly damaged. John Donvan is on the scene. Lots of breaking news as well. More explosions in Beirut today. We talked to some American students who are there. 25,000 Americans still in Lebanon.
And also coming up in this half hour, our Best Summer Ever series goes buggy. We have everything you need to know to stop ticks, mosquitoes, and spiders from making this summer, well, your worst ever, because we want to make it your best summer ever.
Don't like those bugs. Plus, God versus Darwin. We're going to meet one of the country's leading scientists and ask, how does he balance his intense faith in God with the often cold, hard facts of science?
Oh, that's ahead, but Mike Bars has the latest weather. Mike, you're really going to step in that ring with Sugar Ray? What are you thinking?
I'm already here, Robin.
Oh.
I'm already here. Sugar Ray Leonard against Sugar Free Bars. See? You're already getting a little scared right there. He's a 6-time world champion, the host of The Contender, which is moving now to ESPN. It'll be on Tuesday nights at 10 Eastern. Ladies and gentlemen, Sugar Ray Leonard. All right, before we get into the ring here, let's talk nice. Tell me about The Contender, and is it harder hosting or is it harder getting to the ring against me?
It's almost tougher getting in the ring with you for some apparent reason. I don't know. You look almost intimidating to me.
Really do. I do?
You really do, yeah. Because
you are in retirement, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
How are things going with the show? And, you know, you excited about the season?
Oh, very much so. I mean, the show is set with these 16 incredible young men who are using boxing as a means to an end. And you're going to fall in love with these guys. They're incredible fighters, incredible young men.
It's their shot at the big time, right?
It's their only shot at the big time, and I love it.
All right, let's briefly get you caught up in the weather, folks, because it's getting hot in here right now. I'll tell you that. It's hot outside as well. 90s with a few 100 degrees. across much of the nation. Denver hits a record high of 103. Today it'll be 94, which is 6 degrees above normal. St. Louis rocked to 98 under excessive heat warning until Friday evening. 90 the high out in Boston. But come tomorrow, Boston will soar to 96 degrees. Everybody going to be hot this week. That's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. It should be a very nice day here in the Northwest. Any low clouds and fog we do see this morning will burn off very quickly, and we're looking at lots of sunshine and slightly cooler numbers in the upper 70s. But by the week's end, we warm up into the upper 90s. That should happen by Friday and Saturday.
This portion of the weather brought to you by Smuckers.
Guys,
You want some of this?
Yeah.
Stick around for the big bout. Coming up later in the show. Watch this fancy football. Oh, it's going to be nasty. Stick around.
This is not professional wrestling. Michael, be careful out there. There's a real boxer you have. All right, before we get to Mike and Sugar Ray, as part of GMA's Best Summer Ever series, this morning we're looking at those little problems that crop up while we're trying to enjoy the outdoors. Although some people would say we're interfering with their space. We're talking about bugs, mosquitoes, ticks, spiders. Not only are their bites annoying, but they can also transmit disease. Bad disease. Michael Rupp is a professor of entomology at the University of Maryland. Michael's here to show us how to deal with these pests, and we really do interfere with them, don't we?
We do. The bugs rule. This is their place. We're only visiting.
Okay, well, that's a good way.
It's a jungle out there.
Yes, but we don't look at it like that, we humans, even though that's the way you entomologists look at it. We're going to take you through bugs A to Z this morning, right, Mike?
We are.
All right, let's start first with ones that really scare a lot of people, and they should. These are ticks, right?
These are ticks. Bill, I've had more ticks on me this year than I've had in the past 5 years. This big one, we can see right here. You guys got a shot of that?
Not yet. Wait a minute.
Okay,
we're
here we
over
go.
to the next Petri dish.
All right, see this big guy right here?
Yeah.
This is American dog tick. He can carry Rocky Mountain spotted fever. The guy I really worry about is that little critter
Let me point
right
you that
next
with
to
a
it.
pen
Got
because
it?
that looks like a freckle.
It does look like a freckle. That's what I thought it was. That's the black-legged tick. That's the one that gave me Lyme disease.
You had it this year?
I've got it right now.
You have Lyme disease right now?
Yeah,
I don't have to
I'm
get
not
away
going to
from
touch
it,
you.
right?
No, you're okay. I can't transmit.
Now, you were bitten this year. When were you bitten?
I was. About 3 weeks ago, probably, I noticed that I had a bullseye rash develop on my leg.
That's the picture of it.
Yikes, that's my leg.
Looks good, Mike.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
If you're bitten by something and you see a secondary infection and you start to see any reddening or rash, get to the doctor right away. That's how I knew. I had some flu-like symptoms, some aches, pains, a little bit of fever.
Let me keep this picture up because this could be a mosquito bite. It could also be an ingrown hair, right? I mean, really.
Well, it
You don't
could,
know.
and that's what makes it so difficult for the doctors to make a diagnosis. If you get a secondary infection, it can look like this, but when you see that rash, Bill, get right to the doctor.
Even if you don't know what it is, especially if you don't know what
Absolutely. I never saw this tick.
Now, the tick is buried inside there, right?
No, the tick is already off. The tick I probably scratched out.
All right, let's go to the next one because these are skeeters, right?
They are.
These are mosquitoes, and we're the bane of everybody. I got bitten. I was up visiting my son's camp in New Hampshire. I must have a gazillion bites on me.
I got eaten alive. This is my Frisbee. That's what came out of my Frisbee.
Let's take a look
Guys,
at this.
can you have a look at this? There were more than 250 mosquito larvae in this Frisbee. In a couple of days, they're turning into these little biters, and there's a lot of mosquitoes out there. People are going to be bitten.
All right, and these are the guys. These are the larvae in the glass.
Yep.
And in the little container. Oh, look at that! They're all going. You see that?
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, they're not going to bite my pen, are they?
That's kind of creepy.
They're going to try. Now, if I put my finger there, they're really going to.
Don't do that.
Okay.
This is dangerous. Don't do that,
Now,
please.
why would they be dangerous? Mosquito bites can be dangerous.
Absolutely. One of the big problems here, of course, is West Nile virus. We've had thousands of cases in the U.S., and I think we're going to see more with all the heat, humidity, and so much standing water out there right now.
Let me ask about these because I was in my son's camp, as I said, this weekend, and these kids are spraying this bug spray all over. I don't use it. And I got bit, but I don't use it. I'm scared of this stuff.
Yeah, I don't blame you. This is, I don't usually use it. However, one good thing to do if you are outdoors, use personal protection, especially with your children. This is a compact, this particular brand contains DEET. If you don't like DEET, you can use this one. This contains something called picaridin. It's a good alternative to DEET. And this one is oil of lemon eucalyptus if you want a more natural approach.
Non-toxic.
Yeah, if you have standing water, you can't get rid of, simply put one of these in
donut.
That's a donut. That's called a mosquito dunk. That'll kill the breeding mosquito larvae.
We just have a few seconds left. Let's go to the spider family here, arachnophobia. This is a big one, right?
Yeah, she's gorgeous. This is the black widow spider.
Beautiful, yeah.
Look at that hourglass on her abdomen. That's how we tell her.
This does eat her mate, right? Kill her mate.
Occasionally. Sometimes he does get away, but sometimes they're unfortunate.
Now, this one's very active in here, right?
This is the brown recluse. This is the one we worry about.